HOA Karen called cops as I moved in, so I banned her HOA from the lake permanently. The sun dipped low over Willow Lake, painting the water gold as I hauled the last of my boxes into the new house. I dreamed of this place for years, a quiet escape from city noise, a lakeside haven where I could rebuild after a brutal divorce. The neighborhood seemed perfect, with tidy lawns and friendly waves from porches. But as my truck rumbled into the driveway, a woman stormed across the street, her blonde bob bouncing with purpose. Karen. I didn't know her name yet, but her aura screamed trouble. "You can't park there," she barked, pointing at my truck. HOA rules state no vehicles over 6,000 pounds in driveways overnight. Her voice was sharp, like a knife slicing through the evening calm. I blinked, caught off guard. My truck was barely settled, and this stranger was already dictating terms. "I'm just unloading," I said, keeping my tone even. "I'll move it later." Karen's eyes narrowed. "You'll move it now, or I'm calling the cops." She pulled out her phone, fingers poised like a gunslinger. I laughed, thinking it was a bluff, but within 10 minutes, a patrol car rolled up. Officer Daniels, a tired-looking man with graying temples, stepped out, clearly annoyed at the petty call. "She's violating HOA regulations," Karen insisted, thrusting a rulebook at him. Daniels sighed, glancing at me apologetically. "Ma'am, just move the truck to the street for now." I complied, biting back my frustration. This was my welcome to Willow Lake. The next morning, I found a letter taped to my door: HOA fines for non-compliant vehicle storage and unapproved mailbox color. I hadn't even unpacked my dishes yet. Karen, I learned, was the HOA president, a self-appointed guardian of neighborhood perfection. Neighbors whispered about her reign of terror. Fines for overgrown grass, banned holiday decorations, even a kid's lemonade stand shut down for unpermitted commerce. I wasn't here to fight, but I wasn't about to let Karen run my life. I started digging. The HOA's power came from its control over Willow Lake, the community's crown jewel. Residents paid hefty dues for lake access fishing, kayaking, summer picnics. But something didn't add up. The lake was pristine, yet the HOA's financial reports showed millions in maintenance costs. I spent nights poring over public records, fueled by coffee and spite. Then I found it. The lake wasn't HOA property. It was deeded to the original developer, who'd passed away, leaving it to his heirs. One of those heirs, me. My great-uncle's will, buried in legal jargon, had granted me partial ownership. I kept quiet, playing nice at HOA meetings while Karen droned about hedge heights and banned paint colors. She eyed me like a hawk, sensing rebellion. "You're new," she said once, smiling thinly. "You'll learn how things work here." I smiled back, my secret burning like a coal in my chest. The breaking point came at the annual community picnic. Karen, in her element, strutted by the lake, barking orders about where tables could go. I'd had enough. I stood on a picnic bench, holding a megaphone I'd borrowed from a neighbor kid's garage band. "Attention, everyone," I called. The crowd hushed. Karen's face went pale. "This lake doesn't belong to the HOA, it belongs to my family. And as of today, I'm banning the HOA from using it. Permanently." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Karen's scream cut through like a siren. "You can't do that," she shrieked, storming toward me. "I'll sue you into oblivion." But I had the deed, notarized and ironclad, tucked in my back pocket. Officer Daniels, there for crowd control, raised an eyebrow as I handed him a copy. "She's right," he said after scanning it. "This is her land." The neighbors erupted, some cheering, others shouting in disbelief. Karen's reign was crumbling, and she knew it. But then came the twist. Mrs. Delaney, a quiet widow who lived 3 houses down, stepped forward. She was the neighborhood's ghost, rarely seen, always silent. "I'm an heir too," she said, her voice trembling but firm. "My father was the developer's partner. I've stayed quiet all these years, but I'm with her." She pointed at me, her frail hand steady. The crowd fell silent. 2 owners, united, meant the HOA had no chance. Karen's face twisted with rage, but the fight was over. The HOA's power dissolved overnight. Without lake access, their dues were meaningless. Families left the HOA in droves, reclaiming their freedom. I thought I'd won, that justice had prevailed. But victory tasted bitter. Weeks later, I found Karen sitting by the lake, alone, staring at the water. Her perfect bob was disheveled, her eyes red. "This was my community," she whispered, not looking at me. "I kept it perfect. You ruined it." For the first time, I saw her not as a tyrant, but as a woman desperate for control in a world that felt chaotic. I'd taken her purpose, her identity. I won the war, but at what cost? The lake sparkled under the moonlight, serene and indifferent. I offered Karen a deal. The neighborhood could use the lake, but only if the HOA dissolved for good. She nodded, defeated, and walked away. Mrs. Delaney and I now manage the lake as a public trust, free for all. But the neighborhood is fractured. Some see me as a hero, others as a wrecking ball. Karen moved away, her house now empty, a reminder of the cost of vengeance. I sit by the lake sometimes, wondering if I went too far. Justice felt good, but it left scars. The water reflects the stars, calm and eternal, while I wrestle with the weight of what I've done. What do you think? Did I do the right thing, or did my fight for fairness go too far? Share your thoughts on justice and community conflict. Word count: 900.